Most people outside of Ohio don't think art scene when they think of the city of Dayton. But if you live here, you realize pretty quickly that there's a lot going on. And if you're relocating here, this is the kind of thing that makes a city feel like home. Arts make for easy date nights. They make for things to do while family is visiting. And they also give you a social life shortcut when you're new and you're experiencing the city for the first time. And this is a great clue that the city has community pride and a lot of investment into its infrastructure. Let me walk you through the big places and the hidden gems, because this stuff helps you pick what part of Dayton fits your lifestyle the best. Let's dive right into it with one of Dayton's most recognizable, architecturally beautiful buildings in the city itself, and that's the Dayton Art Institute. This museum tracks all the way back to 1919 and later on moved to its hilltop venue in Grafton Hill in 1930. The building was designed by Edward Green. He was a noted museum architect, and the architectural design references Italian Renaissance inspiration, and it's something unlike anything else you're going to find in this part of the country. The Destination Dayton notes that patrons include community leaders like Orville Wright and the Patterson NCR family connections. What's great about this museum is not only is it a place to see historical artifacts and art, but also modern venues and modern art pieces that travel around the country and choose Dayton as one of their primary spots. This is one of those places that surprise people because the building alone feels like a pretty big deal. You drive by at night and the building lights up with multiple colors depending on the time of year, the event that they're hosting. And it's not just for art people. It's one of those spots you can do a random weekend or when guests come into town and you're looking for something to do in the afternoon before you have lunch or before you have dinner. It's also right there overlooking downtown, which makes it a very Dayton kind of landmark if you're looking for that picturesque view of the Dayton skyline. If you live in Oakwood or Kettering or downtown or even in the Belmont area, this becomes a super easy go-to, and getting a membership is key. You can go anytime, virtually any day. And I tell people this is the big thing that makes Dayton feel established. It's not trying to become a bigger city. It is what it is. And what's great about the Dayton Art Institute is they invest in the culture here in Dayton. Every single year, they host Dayton's Oktoberfest. It's a huge fundraiser for the Art Institute itself, but it brings people from all over the Midwest that want to experience a great Oktoberfest festivity that lasts from Friday all the way through Sunday, and it's definitely something that you should check out. If you're a big live art fan, if you're a music fan, if you're a comedy fan, or if you're a Broadway fan, Dayton has a centralized location for everything you could ever want, and that is the organization called Dayton Live. Dayton Live is an umbrella for shows and tickets at a big downtown venues, the Schuster Center, the Victoria Theater, the Loft Theater, and the PNC Arts Annex. The Schuster Center is a big modern downtown show night venue. It has regular Broadway shows that tour through the area. It hosts Dayton Performing Arts Alliance, which we'll talk about, where you can go and see the opera, you can see the Philharmonic, or the ballet. Right across the street from the Schuster Center is the Victoria Theater. This is one of the more historic buildings in Dayton that was established long before we even had the Great Dayton Flood of the early 1900s. The Victoria Theater was built in 1866. It was renovated back in 1989, and this has revived its historical charm and its nature. A lot of performers that come through Dayton and choose the Victoria Theater for their presentations note how historically significant that building is for this part of the country. On the other side of the Schuster Center is the PNC Arts Annex. This is newer, it's a little bit more creative, a little bit more of a workshop feel. It opened in 2018, and it is a hub for creativity, and it's right across the street from the Schuster Center and the Arts Garage, where you can park conveniently downtown anytime you want to see any shows at any of these venues. Dayton Live makes Dayton really relocation friendly. Dayton Live notes accessibility options, accessible seating, entrances, and it supports assistive listening and sensory including performances. We welcome everybody to all of those shows that are available at Dayton Live. This is where you want to go if you want that night out experience. You want to see that big Broadway show that maybe you didn't catch in New York and you don't want to drive to Cincinnati or Columbus. You can see that right here in Dayton when it comes through and it premieres here in the greater Dayton region. You don't have to drive miles to see a big Broadway show. You can stay right here in town and see that, all thanks to Dayton Live. Now, the next arts organization surprises a majority of my clients that are moving here from outside of Dayton or have no familiarity with how our city works, and that is the Dayton Performing Arts Alliance. This is a rare setup that you don't see in a lot of big cities. In 2012, the Dayton Opera, the Dayton Ballet, and the Dayton Philharmonic Orchestra all merged into one organization, further known as the Dayton Performing Arts Alliance, or DPAA. DPAA describes it as it's the first of its kind in the nation. It's a rare structure combining all of these arts organizations under one centralized umbrella. And what that did is it made those arts organizations stronger, and it gave them a stronger foundation to build great culture upon. Dayton's doing something unusual. Everything is connected. So instead of competing for resources, it helps all these different organizations collaborate easier and keep things strong. You can go and see the Nutcracker during the holiday season and see the Dayton Ballet on stage with the Dayton Philharmonic beneath providing all of the music. It is a gorgeous event to go to. And you can see large-scale opera performances like Aida, Carmen. They're all right here, and the Dayton Opera is recognized worldwide for some of their class acts that they put on stage on an annual basis. If you're moving here from a bigger city and you're worried you'll lose some of that culture, worry not. This is one of those that is a very good moment for you to say, I feel good about leaving where I'm coming from and going to Dayton, Ohio, because they have what I'm looking for. And if you're an empty nester or a professional, or if you like live music, this is a big quality of life upgrade. We also have local community theater that is professional theater. Now, when I say professional theater, this means these are actors, they're paid for their time, they're paid for their talents, and they are extraordinary things to witness. First up, we have the Human Race Theater Company. It is a local institution here that gets national recognition. They're noted as having been producing some of the most professional theater in Dayton since 1986. And Dayton Live also states that Human Race is one of the most professional resident companies, and they house them at the Loft Theater, which is also in downtown Dayton, right next door to the Victoria Theater. Are you starting to notice a little bit of a theme here? This is the kind of theater that makes you say, well, the city, it really has creative energy. And it's not just high school plays, this is pro-level regional theater. And speaking of regional theater, we also have Dayton's Theater Lab. Theater Lab was founded not too long ago in 2014. It's called Dare to Defy Productions, and later changed its name to Dayton Theater Lab. Once again, this is a professional organization, and they position themselves around immersive storytelling, and they empower local creatives. They're all about for Dayton, by Dayton, meaning all of the artists, the resident artists, the actors, the people that work on the stage, and even some of the playwrights are all housed here in Dayton, Ohio. So if you like stuff that feels newer, it's more immersive, and it's more of a downtown creative feel, maybe something a little bit more edgy than Oklahoma, then Theater Lab is right in that lane. Definitely check them out. Now, if you're a modern individual and you like something that maybe isn't old or classic and you want that contemporary feel, I have just the thing for you, and that is the Contemporary Dayton, as well as Front Street. The Contemporary Dayton, locals will call it the Co. It's a not-for-profit gallery where artists and resources have served the community since 1991. Right now, they're housed in the Dayton Arcade, which is one of the more historical buildings in downtown Dayton. And not only is the Co a fabulous place to go to see modern works of art, but the arcade itself is a work of art. It's unlike anything you've seen anywhere else in the country. They're free and they're open to the public all year round, which is great if you're relocating here to the area and want to see just a little bit about what Dayton has to offer. They are a not-for-profit though, so we definitely recommend doing what you can to support them and all of the things they do. They're right downtown. They're on 4th Street in the arcade. Definitely something you want to check out. And they have a really great gift shop. So if you're down there for coffee or dinner, maybe you want to go to the Co before you experience those things. A lot of people say it's one of their favorite easy wins downtown. It's very contemporary and it's easily accessible. And even if you're not an art person, it's a really cool stop when you're already downtown. We also have Front Street. This is a great collaboration of artists. At Front Street, it promotes itself as a large community of artists and is open broadly with individual tenants that their hours vary from time to time. So you see a lot of independent artists here. We have a lot of nationally recognized artists that are in Front Street, and they have monthly art hops. These art hops are free. And what happens is they have First Fridays that usually run in the evenings, and then they also have First Saturdays, which are more focused on the afternoon, typically around 11 to 4. And they emphasize that they are extremely family friendly and they're also pet friendly, plus free parking. You can't go wrong with that if you're going into a city. So if you want the most of what Dayton local artists have to give you, and it's something that you want that's a little bit more contemporary, the front street is it. And it's not just a museum where everything's behind glass. These are working studios. This is something where you can fall in love with an artist and their work, and you can actually take it home. If you're new to town and you want to meet people or you just want to feel the vibe, I highly suggest checking out one of their First Fridays. Now, if you're new to the Dayton area, relocating here, or maybe just revisiting what you do and do not know about the Dayton art scene, and you have children that are under the age of 18 and still in school, there's an organization here, nationally recognized, called the Muse Machine. This holds a really near and dear place in my heart because when I was in high school, I was very heavily involved in the Muse Machine, and that's what gave me my love for the arts. It exposed me not only to the ballet, it exposed me to the Philharmonic, traveling shows where I could go with other students that I was in high school with and see these shows for heavily discounted rates and experience things that maybe I wouldn't be able to experience as a child. But it also gave me a chance to get involved in the performing aspect of it, which led later on to me wanting to sing and perform and be a realtor. Realtors are performers, in case you didn't know that. But this is a one-of-a-kind thing here in the greater Dayton area, and once again, a not-for-profit. It offers students experiences with in-school performances, there are workshops, and discounted tickets to major shows all around town. Their memberships and ticket packages are discounted to student options, and they are funded by the community and local grants. So this is one of the reasons that families feel good here. Their kids can access the arts easily and safely. Even if your kid isn't an arts kid, it exposes them to stuff they wouldn't normally try. A lot of parents move for the schools, but programs like this are part of the entire full picture. I don't want to leave out my community theater organizations either. We have so many great here in the area. There's the Dayton Theater Guild. These do classic plays. Classic playwrights come to the area to premiere their pieces here, and it's a classical place to see a work of art. We also have the Dayton Playhouse just north of downtown. They put on large-scale productions in an intimate space, are completely community funded, and they're a great representation of some of the various artists that we have all over the greater Dayton area. You can even go out into the suburbs. Beaver Creek has its own community theater program. There's Springboro Community Theater. Almost anywhere you go in the greater Dayton area, whether you're downtown or you're on the outskirts, there's an arts program that's going to satisfy you and that need to experience the arts, get involved with the arts, or live within the arts. Make sure you check out all these other organizations. I can send you a full list as well. Just reach out and let me know. The Dayton art scene, is it affordable? Yes, but it's also fun. And the city of Dayton itself and its outskirts is an affordable place to live as well, one of the most affordable places to live in this part of the country. But thanks to the great culture that we have here and the enormous amount of artists that we have that come to Dayton, live in Dayton, and stay in Dayton, and create in Dayton, the art scene is one of those things that just makes life feel richer when you live here. My name is David Moyer. I'm with Keller Williams Advisors Real Estate here in Dayton, Ohio. I'm also with David Moyer Real Estate. And I would love to tell you more about the art scene. We can do a deep dive one-on-one. If culture and arts are something that's important to you and you're experiencing a relocation, you're coming to the greater Dayton area, reach out and let's talk about it. And I can probably match you up with something that's going to spark that fire and make you excited to be part of downtown Dayton and all that Dayton culture has to offer. I look forward to hearing from you. All of my information's in the bio. You can reach out that way. You can also drop a comment below. Tell me what type of art you are into, what you like, or if I missed out on something in this video that maybe I don't even know about, I would love to hear about it so I can tell others about it as well. Thanks for watching. If this is your first time, make sure you like and subscribe. Feed that algorithm so other people can know all about the art scene here in Dayton. And I look forward to seeing you real soon.